In this flicker, we'll get a taste of beer in the Yukon, both past and present. We'll learn about Dawson City's first brewery back in 1904, then visit the fine modern brewery of Winterlong in Whitehorse. First up, a stop at the Dawson CIty Museum to chat with Alex about history. Can we go inside?
Yeah, of course. Let's.
I think we'll go inside, and there ain't no libations in there.
No, it's a dry museum.
But we'll go inside and look around. Well, I like that some of my friends are highlighted in these museums. And it does my heart good that they're remembered, because my good friend there, Tom O'Brien. Boy, Tom O'Brien, and when I left my time, I was working for him on the Klondike Mine Railway.
Oh, is that so?
I was, and I hope that when I finally get back to my time, that I'll resume my my job with Tom there in the Klondike Mine Railway. And
what year is that, Tin Cup?
Well, I jumped to your time in 1912.
Oh,
and
1912.
Hoping hopefully not too many years have gone by when I get back. Don't know how that all works. It's all jumbly. But
yeah, I wouldn't count on working for that railway much longer after 1912.
No? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I usually don't like to hear bad news, but what's the bad news, Alex?
The railway struggled its entire life and then finally shut down for good in 1913.
I guess I'm not too surprised. It seemed like there was a little bit of struggling going on before I left.
A few paychecks coming late, kind of.
Yeah, you could say that. But Tom was a friend, so I was patient with him. But what was to me working real well was his brewing company. Speaking of, we were talking about brewing companies
and
earlier.
temperance. Yeah,
and it says here 68,000 gallons of beer a year. Old Tom cranked out there, and I bet you I drank a few thousand gallons of that a year to help the cause.
Tom O'Brien was a big temperance champion in Dawson, actually. The league wanted the saloons closed, and because he sold beer mostly to hotel beer parlors, shuttered saloons suited him just fine. The Klondike Brewery ran ads in the newspaper he owned, encouraging people to drink beer. Ask your doctor, the ads ran. It's healthful, it's good.
I remember that, and these labels look familiar to me as well, and it makes me thirsty. Well, and I think it was
good beer.
It was real good beer, and I felt like it always boosted my health. I certainly wouldn't partake before working on his
on the railway. No,
I wasn't.
Of course not.
Never a good idea. So.
Yeah, but after,
The O'Brien Brewery sold over 250,000 liters of beer in its first 2 years. Sadly, sales began to decline after 1905 due to a dwindling population, social pressures, and politics. Thomas O'Brien sold his business in 1915 and passed away the following year. The brewery shut down in 1919 as Prohibition took hold. Still, for a time, as Tom put it, his brews were the beer that made Klondike famous and Milwaukee jealous. Today, smaller craft breweries make and serve their own beer. There are 5 fine places in Whitehorse where you can sample local brews. We visited one of them.
Welcome to Winterlong.
Tin Cup Kelly here, and we're at Winterlong Brewery. It's a fine establishment, and this is Meghan one of the owners who has created this amazing place of wonderful libations. Megan, tell us about Winterlong. And there Cookie Wilde's here as well. So.
Yeah, well, nice to meet you both. So my partner Marco and I, we were home brewing, so making our own beer at home. Maybe people did that back in your day. Not sure.
Certainly.
I'm sure they did. Yeah. So brewing lots of beer, sharing it with friends over the years, getting really nerdy and into it. And then we just thought, well, you know, we only live once, so we want to start a brewery. Let's make it.
What's nerdy mean?
Oh, good question. When you're really interested in something and that's all you can talk about it, and that's all you can think about.
I guess Old Tin Cup's been nerdy about some things. So it was born out of just kind of doing it for the love of doing it and share it with others.
Yeah.
That sounds lovely.
And when did you open Winterlong?
We opened in 2015.
Wow.
2015.
That sounds
I
wonderful.
can't take credit for the designs, but we have a fabulous designer who does all of our artwork on our cans, posters, t-shirts.
They're just beautiful. Tell us about a few of your beers here.
Well, some of our beers are inspired by the Yukon. So Mountain Hero, that's back from the Gold Rush days. In the car
I would be putting on airs if I called myself a mountain hero,
Right.
but I like the way that looks there.
Yeah, and we like to incorporate sometimes some local forage stuff. So a spruce tip pale ale, we put in actual spruce tips.
Spruce tip will keep scurvy at bay.
That's right.
Yes.
Very important.
Yeah. What else you be proud of here?
Our Hazy Sexy Cool, which people love that name. People love the beer, but it was inspired by a trip to San Diego, where they make very delicious IPAs and a certain particular style that we brought back to the Yukon with us.
And I had that sweater weather, which I like the sound of that one. And that's a good oatmeal stout. My goodness! And just tried your Weiss beer there, and had some German fellas. There were some German stampeders, and they do their best to brew up what they could. And your Weiss beer's a little better than their concoction. And let me tell you, oh boy, some of the boys with what they brewed. Oh goodness sake, it wasn't too good going down, but it kind of warmed you up a bit.
That's important.
Yes. And now you're having speaking of German.
You're having Oktoberfest currently, are you?
Yes. This weekend we're having Oktoberfest. So obviously once a year we're gonna drink out of big mugs.
Ein Maß. And
dress up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have some people show up in
I
later,
hope
was it?
so.
Wow. And a little pop band, will you have?
Unfortunately not. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Now, do you have these events throughout? And you're open all year long, right?
All winter long, all summer long. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, and you have events throughout as you go along. All kinds of. It's a good place to celebrate, and you got yourself a real nice little beer garden out here where folks can sit and enjoy.
Our other passion, other than beer, is hiking. So over the 15 years we've lived here, we've hiked as much as we could, and we finally put this book together. More of a coffee table book, not something you'd put in your backpack.
It's very. It's got some weight to it, but that's.
Knowing him, he tries.
I put it in my pack and take it up a hill. Maybe. Some pretty pictures in here, and maybe what we can do is Old Tin Cup. I'll pack the book. I'll pack the book and one of your vessels, one of your big canteens. Fill it with one of your libations, one of those fine beers, and I'll hike up to the top, and then I'll have me a mug of beer, and we can get those into flickers. Because now in our day we called it getting from one place to another. We weren't doing it for fun, but these days I love getting up into these places here. So I'm gonna follow your guide here. Folks should get this book. And they can get it here at the Winterlong Brewery. So get the book. Get you, a nice beer and some victuals here. Sit down, decide what hikes you want to go on, and say hello to Megan and Marcos, and tell them that they put together a fine place inspired by a passion for beer.
Beer, indeed.
So they call this here a flight of beer. There's just a whole bunch of them here. And I've got reminisce to my days with my German friends. Oktoberfest Weiss beer, they call it a Weiss beer. And this here is called a spruce tip. So it's got a little spruce tip in there, help you with your scurvy. And then this here is a sweater weather. So this sweater weather is that'll keep you warm, like a sweater. And then you got the Mountain Hero here. And the Mountain Hero is a saison, they say. So it must be kind of a Belgian French beer. But think of it, have a little bit. Oh, boy, that's good. I'll follow it up with it. Oh my goodness, such good beer, good victuals. You gotta get here to Winterlong. Megan, well, I know you are like me. You've seen plenty of the magic of the Yukon, right? And it's all over. And I say, most folks back in the day came into these lands looking for gold, into these lands that were already sacred and special to the First Nations people, and they knew the magic here. And I say that. Well, don't worry about that gold any longer. The gold that you find here now are the people like Megan and Marcos, the stories, the history, the scenery, and just all the things, and beer.
And beer.
So let's tell folks, as the Tin Cup always does, you gotta get on up here. So Megan, if you would.
Okay, you gotta get on up here.
Oh, there you are. Whitehorse, the capital of the Yukon. You gotta get on up here.